Hi, my name's Daisy, I'm from MyDaily. I'm with Lizzie King today in her studio and we're going to be trying our hand at tie-dyeing a pillowcase.
To tie-dye you will need some gloves firstly so you don't dye your hands, some elastic bands, some dye. I use Dalston hand dye, but you can get all different colours and you can mix up your own colours. A jug, a bucket, some salt, just use like cheap table salt, and then some empty sauce bottles which you can get from a pound shop, and that's it, whatever you want to tie-dye as well. To mix up the dye you just need to get your salt and your dye, pour it into your jug. On the back it tells you the exact measurements, but if you just do some dye and then do about double the amount of salt, because that's what makes it stay in the fabric. So pour in lots of salt, and then you just need to mix it up with warm water. So you can use a kettle if you want to, but just warm water from the tap's fine. And just mix it up really well. Just put it into these empty sauce bottles, because it just means that you can be a bit more careful with your dye and not get it everywhere. So when you've got what you want to dye, you need to make it wet first. If it's something brand new, like a t-shirt you've bought from the shop, you might need to just wash it in a washing machine, because they quite often have a coating on them, which means it won't take the dye that well. But if it's something that you've already washed, then just get it a bit wet, like this. And we're going to tie-dye a heart. So you want to get it in the middle of your pillowcase. So you just fold it in half like that. And then we're going to draw a heart, half a heart in the middle. So you just need to get a pencil or a pen and then just draw half a heart from the middle of your pillowcase. And you draw that from the fold in the middle, not from the edge. So once you've drawn your half a heart, you just need to gather along the line that you've drawn. So you just fold the fabric along. It doesn't need to be that even. Just go all the way around like that. Until you get to the point of your heart there. And then when you've got all of that lined up, just put an elastic band? Elastic band around like that. And you want to get that really tight, because that's what stops the dye going to that part, and that's the part that will be white when you open out the pillowcase.
So it's okay to double band?
Yeah, if you put two on it, because this is quite thick fabric, you probably want to put two on, so it's quite tight. Like that. So now we're going to put the dye on the pillowcase, and this is when you really need to put on your rubber gloves, because otherwise you'll dye your hands and it takes a long time to come off. So you can choose what colours you want to do. This part will be the bit that's white. So because we're doing a heart, I think it would look nice to do this part one colour, and then we can do sort of stripes of other colours along here. So you just need to put it over a bucket, or you can even use a plastic plate, just so you don't get your table all dyed. So I'm going to use red, blue and yellow, because when they mix they make a nice colour. So that's something you need to think about when you're doing your dye, because if you use like yellow and purple when they mix, that will be brown. So if you want brown, then that's fine, but these colours are nice because they make rainbow colours when they mix. So we're going to put pink on the centre and then put some blue on. And so when they mix, there's a nice purple colour.
Yeah.
And sort of put that over like that. And don't worry if you get blobs of other colours, because it looks nice when it blends in, but you can just put some more pink over the top and that will even it out a bit. And then you've only done one side, so you just need to turn it over and put some more dye on the other side. And just squirt a bit more than you think, because quite a lot of it will rinse out, so you need to really put a lot on. And then you can sort of squeeze it out a bit. And then at the end we could do yellow. So do you want to squirt some yellow on?
Yep. Just as you have been.
Yeah. And so when they mix, there's quite a nice sort of turquoisey, yeah, greeny colour.
All the way down?
Yeah, so we can put it over there. Yep, that looks good. And just give it a little bit of a squeeze to try and get most of the dye out. I might just put a bit more pink on that bit.
I love those specks.
That's the nice thing about it, is it always comes out really different each time you do it.
Yeah.
And then just give it a squeeze, and then if I put that on the plate, there we go. And then just put it into a plastic bag. And then leave it in there for at least 12 hours, just to let the dye really sink in. If you just wrap it up like that, and then put an elastic band around it, and try and be patient and leave it in there for 12 hours. Once you've tried out a few different tie-dye techniques, you could maybe do some old trainers. If they're old white trainers, that works really well, and just do the same technique of putting the dye in bottles and then just squirting it on. I took the laces out for these ones, and then because this is plastic, the dye doesn't take, so that works really well. Or just plain white socks or knickers, or like a backpack. If you've got a denim backpack or a white one, then you can dye that as well.